through hell and I felt the pain. I've seen the whole world go through a whole lot of change. I seen the mama watch her baby die just for getting high. And 20 minutes later go get high. I seen killers get justified. And all the while scratching my head on the highs and ride. I see some real good people die.
Come on, y'all. What happened to good music? One thing I want to do is bring in some good music again. Little introduction. Unfortunately, YouTube is going to take 24 hours to respond to my account verification, and then I'll be able to go ahead and stream live after that. So my first video, which is good because it's just an introduction today, so we'll go ahead and pre-record that.
To my fans, to my friends, to my family. When I leave this earth, I hope y'all all remember me. I rock you, shout out, queen, rest in peace, preacher, man. I'ma hold it down, but swear to God, I miss you, man. All I give you, we miss you, Frank, though. Freaky T, he took it hard, I feel his pain, though. So many cries, so many down, nothing at all. Even the light up, something so small.
Let y'all finish this song out. I'll be right back. Good music, y'all. Just in case if anybody's wondering, this is Crucifix. The song is Sideways. You got to check his albums out. He's got a bunch of good music. He does a lot of music with other artists as well. So I'm sure those of you that have heard of Bubba Sparks, and he's in a lot of good music. So get y'all a little bit of good music flowing in here. Before we jump into it. Good videos. I might play one more here at the end of the stream before I turn it off. Play one more song. Since we're listening to him today. And if anybody's wondering, Crucifix is spelled Crucifix. That's how he spells it. A couple different things here. All right. Well, welcome. This is True Media Production. I am Brandon True, and this is the very first episode of The Truth. Just an introduction today. I'm not going to get too heavily into conversation. I don't have any specific topics today. I do want to actually talk about a few things along with the introduction. So to get started, jump right in. Unfortunately, like I said during the video, I was playing here the music. I'm waiting on a verification from YouTube to go live. They had to verify my account and said it would be 24 hours. So unfortunately, this is getting pre-recorded the first time, but that's all right. I still want to get some content out there. I've been dying to launch True Media Production. I've been putting a lot of things together for the show that I'd like to do on here. Obviously, this setup that I have right now is not what I want to do permanently. I'm brand new, but my goal here is to bring wonderful media, whether it's, news, sports, weather, I mean, a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. So I want to grow this channel as well, bring other people involved with me on the show as well. So a little bit with the introduction, who I am and my vision here for the Truth. Again, my name is Brandon Trewth. I am 34 years old, and I live in Tampa, Florida now. And the reason why I wanted to come out and I wanted to start my own media production and start my own channel, well, number one, I was inspired by a good friend of mine. He's actually a sportscaster. He does tons of YouTube channels. If anybody likes the Dolphins, or I mean, not just strictly the Dolphins, but TD Fence Talk is branching out too to TD Sports Talk. So you could be a fan all over. He's actually branching out pretty wide here. So he started off just like me with a cell phone in his spare bedroom, trying to gain an audience. And these are people that are diehard Dolphins fans that come on and talk on his channel and talk on his panel, and they have discussions. And I said, for the longest time, I really want to do something like this. But as I've been going along with TD and watching him as he grows, man, he just does such a good job. And I'm like, I don't want to interfere with somebody. I mean, I turned to him for this media. So, I thought to myself, well, I've got to be larger than that. I want to be a little bit larger than just sports. I want to be able to talk about real life problems that are going on in our country and around the world. I don't want to bring politics into this channel to create diversity. I want this channel to be the truth. My name is Brandon Trewth, and I can't really put it any plainer than I did. I want to bring honest news media. Yes, I do want to incorporate some comedy as well. So not everything is going to be, serious, but for the most part, the news that I put out, I want to talk about real live issues that are going on in our country, locally, right here around Tampa area. I want to get people on this show. I want to grow an audience and gain an audience to where I can actually interact with people on this show, bring you on live, and I want to talk to people, get their opinions on topics. I want to get people's thoughts on things. I want to, grow this channel to be something large to where I'm not just sitting here trying to put this media out here to you guys. Again, it's not going to be politically driven. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I've never been either. Actually, I've only voted twice in my entire life. So, politics and government is not what I want to create this channel for. Religion is not what I want to create this channel for. I am a Christian myself, but I am not going to force any type of religion or hold any type of religion against anybody that wants to watch this channel. So, if you want to come in here and, and troll and things like that, because there's always going to be people that are going to try to put you down for what you do, I'm going to look past you. I want people that want to interact. I want people on this channel that want to be involved. In this area, I want to do things in the community. There's a lot of things going on in Tampa right now that are really crippling us, and we are overseeing it. We're looking right past it. And there's just a lot of things going on in the country right now where people talk about it, but they never do anything about it to make a difference. So, I'm not saying that I'm going to change the world overnight, but I definitely want to grow a channel to where, again, I'm giving back to the community. I'm donating. Whether it's helping people spread small business, getting their business out there, advertising. I want to do everything that I can. Another thing I want to talk about for this channel, just like anybody else, I want to do gift giveaways. I really want to incorporate some really cool apparel. I've got a good friend of mine. Shout out to Jeremy, or also known as Dr. Kills on the internet. He is he's awesome, man. I'm just gonna say that right now. And I also want to give a shout out to Asif. He's another friend of mine. I mean, it wouldn't even be possible right now to be sitting here doing what I'm doing without the two of them. They've helped me be the brains of this, helped me actually encourage me to go forward with it. And Asif is actually the one that created my channel. He did a great job. Jeremy is got two really awesome 3D printers, and he's a very, very, very busy man. So it's going to be hard to actually get any kind of serious production out of him. But I'm going to talk him into it, and I think I already have had a pretty good conversation with him about it. But I am going to incorporate a couple really cool gifts that are going to be True Media Productions logo on it, which you can't see it right now unless you look at my YouTube channel. But I'm actually going to have a couple really cool gifts made. I don't want to give away what it is right now, but I also will tell you guys that I'm also in the process of having some other things made right now too. Some hats, some mugs, some shirts, maybe even like some coasters and things like that. Excuse me, with the True Media Productions logo on it. I definitely want to make it fun to watch. I want to do giveaways. I've got a couple other really cool gift ideas I've been thinking about already. But, before you can jump into gifts and all kinds of stuff like that, you've got to have people to be in your audience to give stuff away to. So really right now, my main goal is to get this media out there, talk to the people, let you guys know that I'm not some bum out here just trying to talk on a camera, and and what makes me different from anybody else. So again, I think I'm a pretty unique person, just like anybody should feel like they are. I think that what I want to talk about again is just going to be honest opinions, I should say, because not everything that I'm going to talk about is going to be 100% the truth, I don't think. I mean, if we're going based off of other stories that we're getting from media platforms and news platforms, well, unfortunately, we're misled every day in this country. So unless I'm out there getting video footage myself that I can talk about, a lot of the information, that I get, you can go and get yourself. It's not like I have some kind of a secret, hidden way of trying to get this media. So again, I just try to talk about the topics and the things that are going to get people's attention. Again, some of it may have to do with, what's going on in our country as a country. Some of it may be issues that may be, issues with our governments. But again, I'm not here to pick any side. I'm not here to say that I am this or I'm that. I just want to talk about problems. I want to talk about things that we can do. Again, because, I'm a normal person. I work a regular job. Luckily today I get to go in a little late, so it gives me a little bit of time to do this. But, I work a regular job every single day. This is just something for me that I want to do in my spare time. And I really, really want to push as hard as I can to grow this into something really amazing. And again, it's going to be with the help of viewers. It's going to be with the help of people on YouTube. I also have incorporated just for fun, for the humor side of it, because not everything can be all serious. You got to have, some kind of way to incorporate fun and humor involved too. So I also made a TikTok, which I never thought in a million years I would ever do. So, I did that so I can incorporate the kids, so I can incorporate, whether it's the dog or just doing funny things, just to remind people that, we can't always be so serious, even as we get older and we have stress and things that could make us want to just go crazy. We really need to remember that life is so short. It's too short. And one of the most famous things I've ever heard in my life is, people say all the time, well, you only get one life. Okay, you get one life and one death. Well, that's true. But if you really honestly think about it, I mean, let's be honest here. We get life every single day. So, no, you don't get one life. We live every single day, and we are given life every single day until we die. So, with that being said, I don't look at it as like we were given one life. We have one very long life to live, but every day we were given life. So, my mindset, I want to start thinking to myself is wake up every day. Yeah, of course, you got to wake up. Kids go to school. You got to go to work. You come home. You got to do the family life. But if people can take an hour, 2 hours every single day, just take that little bit of time to put it forth to something that makes you happy. Whether it's music, I love music, but I'm not a musician. But I love listening to music, so whatever it may be, whether it's getting out in the community and picking up trash, we got to remember, we have to spread kindness in this, in this world today, because we are growing in a society where our children aren't learning good morals anymore. And it breaks my heart, because number one, video games and technology is crippling our youth. And we won't get too far into any kind of details on that right now, but there's a lot of things we could talk about there. So I really try to encourage, especially the youth, get out 1 to 2 hours, please go play. Even if you don't like sports, if you just want to get out and read a book. I mean, I live in Florida, so we are blessed with warm weather almost year round. Get out, ride a bike. You never see people rollerblading anymore. Nothing like that. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have the things that we have nowadays. I mean, I had started off with a Sega Genesis, and my very first any kind of type of communication was a pager. I look at the kids and ask the kids, you know what it's like to have a pager? And they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, a pager? What's a pager? And I'm like, see? I mean, that's how much we've advanced already. And I'm not even that old. I mean, I'm 34. So it's like, I spent a lot of time as a kid outside being a kid, riding a bike at the skate park, at the beach, fishing. Man, I did so much fishing. Just being a kid with my friends, and unfortunately, a lot of that is taken away nowadays. Number one, well, parents are scared to let their kids outside. I mean, you see that all the time. I was for a long time scared to let the kids out of the front yard to where, they were out of my vision. I didn't like it. We had a couple issues in the neighborhood, and we're in a nice new neighborhood, and we've had a couple issues over here where we've had young adults, we've had a couple murders with rap videos, arguments over rap videos, and 2 people ended up dead right here in the neighborhood. And this was just about a year and about 2 years ago now. So it's sad because there's a lot of corruption all throughout everywhere. And again, not to get off topic here because, man, I could talk for all day long about it, but there's a lot of things that I do want to talk about. There's a lot of things that I need an audience to bring on my stream. Please, comment, like, share, subscribe, do everything to help me grow this audience. Because again, I want to bring people on this stream live. I want to bring people in to interact. And, again, give me your thoughts. If I'm wrong, I'm okay with being wrong. If my opinion is too far-fetched, then hey, I'm okay with my opinion being too far-fetched. But the idea is to bring good content to talk about, to bring good media, and to bring in people to where we can show that, hey, you know what, we can talk about this. We can change things amongst ourselves. We don't need to pass a law. We don't need to rely on government to help us make us better in the community. And that's what I want to do. Again, I live in a small town here inside of Tampa, and we are a growing community. We are a very fast growing community, and it is very diverse. So the last thing we want to see here is our youth get raised into a community that's not accepted for diversity, because you're singled out because of a ethnic race or religion. And, you know, we see it all the time across this country, and it's got to stop. So we're going to stop there with that. We're going to go ahead and pick back up where I was talking earlier. So yeah, the gifts, the giveaways, the apparel, that's all going to be coming soon. Of course, you know, I got to be careful how much money I dump into this too. Because again, this is just my little side gig right now. I am still working my regular job. I still have to pay bills. So, the gifts will come. I will say, to go, I think, live on YouTube on my mobile device, I will need 1,000 subscribers. So realistically, I would love to set a goal. Hey, 1,000 subscribers, 500 subscribers. I am super stoked. Any subscribers, any kind of an audience, I am happy. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. So if we can reach a goal of, let's say, 500 to 1,000 subscribers, that will give me time to have something, whether it's a t-shirt and a hat or a coffee mug. I know there's a lot of coffee drinkers out there. I don't drink coffee. I drink a lot of water. As you can see in my little trusty Orca Miami Dolphins mug here. I guess couldn't tell that I was a Dolphins fan, but believe it or not, yes, here in Tampa, I am a Dolphins fan. I grew up on the east coast of Florida in Palm Beach County, and I grew up in the Marino era, and I went to a couple games, and I just fell in love with the Dolphins, and I never looked back. So I'm a Dolphins fan. But yeah, so I mean, I would love to give away, like I said, a little package, whether it's like a little combo of a hat, a shirt, a mug, something, just to show my appreciation to the audience as it grows. Because again, I can't do any of this without people here to support me. So I'm not looking to get rich off this. What I'm looking to do is grow an audience that likes this content enough to where they want to share it, they want to spread the kindness. It makes them want to come out and do good things, and hopefully I can reach people here in the Tampa area as well, and eventually organize some kind of community events pretty soon. And I do have a plan. I don't know the exact numbers or anything yet, but any kind of donations, whether it's a monthly subscription or it's just a regular donation, I don't know yet. But I definitely will plan on making sure that a good portion of any of my proceeds, any money that comes in from this channel, that will get donated back either to the community, whether it's helping a kid that wants to play sports, or a child that needs a backpack and school supplies. I don't care what it is. It's going to be something given back to the people that are helping me be who I want to be with this channel. So, again, whether I raise enough money to donate to a cancer fund, I don't know yet. We have not actually had anything set in stone yet. So that's my vision. That's what I see. That's what I want. And that's what I really think that we're gonna do here. So kind of jumping off of that, one thing I did want to talk about too, sports. Again, Dolphins fan, I love sports. I do want to incorporate a lot of sports in here, because, well, men, women, children, I mean, who doesn't love sports? You either like them or you don't. So, I'm not a huge baseball fan. I don't watch a lot of baseball. Again, I grew up liking the Marlins back in the Jeff Conine era and things like that when they won the World Series. But I played baseball up until high school, but then it just kind of became boring to me. But I still love all sports, so I don't want anybody to think that I dislike baseball. But more than likely, my sports is mostly going to evolve around football. And what do you know? Football season's right around the corner. So what better time than to start talking about football? But on the other side of that, on baseball, I do like the Tampa Bay Rays. I will say that. I've kind of started to root for them a little bit more than the Miami Marlins. Sorry, I guess I can never really say I was a diehard Marlins fan, but call me bandwagon fan if you want. But I live in Tampa. Took the boys to games, taking my wife to many of games. So I've kind of grown to really like the Tampa Bay Rays, and now they're starting to do pretty good. Kiermaier, God, he's a beast. I mean, that man can do it all, and that's kind of what caught my attention with the Rays, is just, watching Kiermaier play in the outfield, some of the amazing plays that he's made, being at the game live has just made me really, really, start to like the Rays. So, but on the other side of that, I will say this: it was pretty tough. I'm going to pull it up real quick here. It's just a brief little post here. Pretty sad, actually.
Our goal is to help people cook some of the best dishes
Well,
possible. Dr.
maybe.
Will continue running the business.
What we got going on here?
The ingredients you need to make the same dishes that we learned.
No, we don't want that.
Restaurants in the world. We use DocuSign for.
So, sorry about that. I don't know what started even playing there on some kind of media player, but no, I wanted to pull up this article here. Let's see. And just to kind of read it, because it hits home for me. It's pretty sad because, one thing that people would always think that they could be able to do and to be safe, take your child and take your children to a sports game, baseball, football, I don't care if it's tennis. All right, you would think that would be the one place you could go where you would be safe, right? Well, and unfortunately in today's society, we can't think like that, because on the other side of that, you have people that think, well, large gatherings, tons of people in a crowd, have nowhere to run, all different ages, women, men, children, you can target a lot of, a large area there. So thank God, I will say this, thank God this was nothing that was, any kind of a terroristic attack or anything like that. But I will say this, Saturday night's game between Washington Nationals and San Diego Padres had to come basically to a screeching halt because gunshots rang out outside the stadium. Now, again, thank God they were outside, but it doesn't matter because, you're in a baseball game, watching a baseball game, and you hear gunshots ring out, you're going to want to tuck and duck for cover. You don't have many places to run. You're inside of a stadium. So you don't know where those shots are coming from. You don't know if they're in the stadium. I'm sure it was probably still pretty loud because it was loud enough to where people started fleeing and fans were running on the field. It became almost like a nightmare, okay? So I guess this is, we can say it was a nightmare that we woke up from and everything was fine, but unfortunately we cannot because the shooting actually took place on the streets right there on South Capitol Street near an entrance to the stadium. So, I mean, it was right there at the doorstep, okay? People right there shooting, okay? And apparently the police said that there was 3 victims. It went back and forth at first. So again, this is the latest report that I got, and this was last night around 9:00 p.m. But it says that it was verified that there was 3 victims. A woman who was found wounded outside the stadium, and the other 2 showed up at the hospital a short time later, but were also taken into custody. Okay, Sean Benedict, the D.C. Police Executive Assistant Chief, said that the police believe the incident was gunfire from at least one car toward another. They recovered one of the vehicles that they believed was involved, and they are still seeking for the other one. One of the other people that was shot was a woman who was attending the game, Benedict said. All of the victims' wounds were believed to be non-life-threatening. All right, that's great. But that was a woman that was at the baseball game. All right, I just want to put that out there right now. She was not in a car. She was not out there doing anything suspicious. She was just, whether she was just getting to the game late. Again, I don't have specific times or anything like that, but she was attending this baseball game. And thank God that these were all non-life-threatening injuries. But again, how is that fair? I mean, you're literally walking amongst the sidewalks or wherever you're walking, and 2 cars pull up next to each other or whatever and just start shooting at each other. And you're unfortunately at the wrong place in the wrong time and get caught up in this crossfire and get shot. So yes, it's very sad. And here at the bottom it says that police officials initially tweeted that there were 4 people they thought that were wounded in the incident, but later updated that the number was only 3. Okay, so that is good. So there was one less person that was actually wounded than what they intended that there was. They thought there was 4 people. So the police are still trying to determine what led to the gunfire, but noted that they believe it was unrelated to the game. Okay, that's a good observation. Actually, not really. Let's be honest here. Let's be truthful, right? That's what this is about. They believe it was unrelated to the game. So we don't know if this was before, after, during the game. I don't have all those details. Maybe my assumption says that this was right towards the end of the game. Maybe right before the game was over, she said, all right, you know what, let's get out of here a little soon. I don't want to, maybe I want to avoid the crowds, whatever the case may be. But what would even make them think that it was related to the game? I mean, what, because one team loses and one team wins? What would there be that would be related to the game? One team saying your team sucks and the other team saying no, mine doesn't, and then bang, and then that doesn't even make sense. If we're out here shooting people over a baseball game, we do have some. I mean, this is next level. So again, very sad situation. The other 2 that were taken into custody, again, just an assumption, but I'm assuming maybe one was in one car, one was in the other. They shot back and forth at each other, and they both hit each other, and I guess they were successful. So, with that being said, I don't know what they were, what they thought they accomplished, or like the police said, what initiated this? What was the issue here? I can't see it being anything related to a baseball game. If 2 cars pull up, I think that could be possibly beef on the streets, right? I mean, that's all I can think of is people that have problems with one another had, whether it was road rage or some kind of altercation that led to gunfire. People, put the guns down. That's all I can really say to that. You know what a gun is for? God gave us these right here, right? I believe in God. So I believe that I was given these right here to protect myself. I grew up my whole entire life using these. Not saying that I used them in the best situations, but this is what I used. Never, not once, have I ever thought about bringing a gun into the equation. You know what I own a gun for? I own a gun to keep by my bedside or in my room to protect my home and my family and the children that live in this home. That's why I own a gun. If you threaten my life or my family's life and come into this home, that is what we are supposed to use a gun for. Okay? So, again, kind of a touchy subject because, unfortunately, I see it all the time. But, I mean, we've got 13 and 14-year-old kids out here toting 45s. Something's wrong with that. Do we need to take guns away from everybody? Absolutely not. We need to take guns out of the hands of people that don't deserve them. So, again, let's be honest here. Come to my door and try to take my gun away. I'm going to laugh in your face. Because I do have a right, and we do have a Second Amendment right. But, again, when somebody walks out that door, and they're out there on the streets toting around a gun that can take your life, and people that are not mentally stable enough to possess a firearm, take away their gun. Is it going to stop them from getting another one? No. But there are people out here that deserve to have guns, and then there's people that don't deserve guns. Let's just be, let's be honest about it. So, again, that would be a good topic for another day. So, back to sports. Basketball, NBA. Yeah, I love the Heat. I don't love talking about them. I don't talk about them much, but I like the Heat. I support the Heat. Okay, I was a huge D Wade fan. I liked Shaq when he played there. I mean, heck, I even briefly, this is going to be tough to say, but I actually liked LeBron James the least little bit when he was there. So, Chris Bosh, all those guys, man, I've liked the Heat for a long time. I, again, used to go to games as a kid. They weren't very good. I think I've probably been to 4 or 5 games when I was a kid, and I've probably watched them win maybe one game. So, yeah. But with that being said, for those of you that do like basketball and that do follow basketball. Obviously, we are in the finals, and man, I didn't get to watch the game, but I did get to see some of the clips. And that Milwaukee Bucks game against Phoenix Suns, boy, I'll tell you what, that was. I honestly thought Phoenix was gonna take over and they were gonna just walk away and they were gonna shut this down. But the Bucks are making a real fight here for this. They want this pretty bad too. So, but man, what a dunk! What a way to end the game. Last game, Saturday night. Saturday night. Yep. Anyways, the Bucks did take the lead in the series, so now they're up 3-2, and to end the game pretty much. And it was, I mean, again, you got to go check it out yourself. I don't have any way to show you right now unless I was to flip my computer around and pull the clip up. But Drew Holiday taking the ball away from Devin Booker. I want to say, yes, Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns takes the ball away, dribbles a couple times, gets down the court, and lobs it up. Basically says, go ahead, Giannis. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name right now because I don't want to make myself look like a fool. But lobs it up to Giannis. And talk about going up and going to get it and put it down. He just made it look like it was an orchestrated play. I mean, it was just so simple for the man. I mean, beast of a player, beast of a play. The chemistry there was just on point. Couldn't have done it any better. So check that out. Go check out those highlights. A lot of good resources out there for sports. So I don't try to compete with ESPN or nothing like that. If you guys really want to look at all the sports news and all that, you guys could simply just go to ESPN and probably get more information from there. But I try to make this, again, fun. And also, I would really like to try to get people on here to talk to about, not just speak into a camera and put the media out there to you. As like a lot of, media broadcasters do, whether it's sports, CNN, Fox, all of the above, everybody. They talk to you, but there's no interaction there. And that's what I want to use YouTube for, is the interaction and getting this audience on here to talk about it. I wish I had somebody to talk about sports right now with, but I don't. So I'm going to move on with that. So yes, the Bucks are up right now in the series. 3-2, and again, not 1,000% sure, but I am pretty sure the next game will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m., and I don't even want to say what channel it's going to be on because so many people use different ways to stream TV now. But yeah, I'm sure you can find it if you want to, and I'm sure you know it's coming on. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Next with that is, let's see here. Yeah, what better else, what other subject better to talk about, especially when you're talking sports, is NFL, okay? So along with the NFL, obviously people that love the NFL know, we've got training camp right around the corner here. I believe training camps all start different times. I want to say it's usually always right towards the end of April, though, is when you see the training camps start to kick off and players getting out there on the field, practicing, and going through their training camps. So the Miami Dolphins, we'll talk about them for a second because, again, I don't really follow any other team. Will I talk about other news about other teams? Absolutely. Will I talk about trades and things like that? Absolutely. But a lot of my content, until I get somebody else on here, and I don't care if it's even a Patriots fan. I don't care. Jets. I would love to keep it in the same division. Get somebody in here, talk a little schmack, because with sports and football, there's always going to be trash talking, and I'm okay with that as long as we keep it respectful, But because now, hey, why would I be mad? I shouldn't be offended because now we're a contender. So I can say that I can fairly stand my ground and support my team and maybe talk a little bit of trash back now because we all know that the Patriots are a dying team. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Shout out to the Tampa Lightning. Not a Lightning fan really, but I've lived here in the Tampa area now for about 6 years. So go Lightning, man. That's 2 championships in a row. Man, they got a heck of a squad. I haven't been to a hockey game in forever. I mean, I was probably 15 years old the last time I've been to a Florida Panthers game. And again, they were not that great. So my thrill was just basically watching them get smashed into the glass. And that was about it. You know, I didn't really follow hockey, so I didn't know anything about it. But let me tell you, I watched these games in the Stanley Cup, and watching these guys, even the Canadians, heck of a team, tons of talent. I mean, but it's like watching the Tampa Bay Lightning, these guys are like freaking next level. I mean, I'm watching these guys go out here, and their backups are next level. I mean, these guys are freaking awesome. How long are they going to be able to keep a team on board like this? I don't know. But it's really, really, really exciting to watch them play. So I actually want to start getting to some hockey games. They're tons of fun in person. And again, I remember as a kid watching these guys go up against this glass and fight for the puck. It was just, I mean, it was priceless. But also to know that hockey is like the only sport that I'm aware of where you can pretty much legally fight and not get ejected from the game. I know NFL, you throw one punch, you're ejected. NBA, you throw a punch or a push, a flagrant, you're ejected. Hockey, half the guys that play are missing teeth for a reason. And they'll tell you, I'm not going to get my teeth fixed until I'm done playing and I retire. Because the chances of them getting knocked out again are pretty good. So, man, but these guys go at it. The physique, I mean, the physical strength that it takes for these guys to go out here and skate like they do, and to watch these guys go at it like they do for 3 periods, man, is just insane. So I've got to get the kids out there. I've got to get them to a hockey game. I've got to start watching hockey more, especially when I live in Tampa and I can support a team where, again, I've never been a diehard Florida Panthers fan. So when it comes to hockey, I have no problem supporting my local team, and especially when they win 2 championships in a row. But now back to football, because we're not going to talk too much about hockey, but don't think that the Bucks are going to win another championship this year, all right? That whole Brady mess, that crap is going to come to an end too, all right? What better scenario? All right, let's talk about this for a second. What better scenario than Tom Brady coming to Tampa? His wife wanted to live in Florida. She loves sunny South Florida. They love Miami, but Brady said he didn't want to play with the Dolphins? I'm not offended by it. I personally think that Brady's as good as he is because of the team that was around him. Giving him an elite offensive line, giving him at least 1 or 2 elite targets with Julian Edelman and Gronkowski. I mean, they've never really had to worry about having a bunch of all-stars. They've been a very well-rounded team. And that is one thing that Bill Belichick is good for, is having a very well-rounded team. So, yes, I think Brady's great. I'm not going to trash talk the man, because next thing you know, I might lose any potential viewers that I may have on here because they think that I'm a Brady hater. I'm not a Brady hater. A matter of fact, I think Brady is a pretty good quarterback. He's got great vision. The knowledge is about top notch, and that's what makes him elite, in my opinion, is his knowledge and the understanding of football and the plays, where to be, and how to play. Knowledge is a lot in football. Just knowing plays and knowing the calls and knowing where your guy is going to be. I mean, it's literally a game of inches. I've seen, and if you can put that ball 10 inches in front of that defender's hands and that receiver can make a catch, that's what makes you elite in the NFL nowadays. It's not all about the Cam Newtons and the Lamar Jacksons about getting the ball and running it. Because guess what? Eventually, you're going to take a pounding. And it might not be year 1, and it might not be year 2, but year 3 and year 4 and year 5, when these guys are going to want to come out here and rock you and kill you out here, you're going to start getting banged up. And let me tell you, when you start getting banged up, you're going to slow down. It's just proof. You're going to slow down, analyze what's going on around you, and rethink it, because A, the organization doesn't want to lose their starting quarterback because they want to run the ball, and B, it really makes you think differently when you know guys understand how you play now, and you know that too, and you know guys are picking up on what you do. You've got to really start to play a little bit differently. So, I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's another one. He's great. But do I think he's going to play at that same kind of level every year? No, probably not. He's probably not going to rush as much as he does every single year. And if he does, teams are going to pick up on it, and they are going to shut him down. I mean, unfortunately, look at what happened to the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. I mean, he's the do-it-all. The GOAT already they're talking about. He's going to be the GOAT times 2, right? Look how they shut him down, and Brady made him look like a high school player. I mean, every time Brady got on the field, he was just picking them apart. Every time they got on the field, they were getting shut down. And why is that? When you've got a guy that's in his end of his career towards a guy that's coming in being the reigning MVP, and he makes him look like a little kid and carries him on his shoulders. Like, come on, son. Like, how? Because, again, it's the knowledge, and I think that defense was too much for them, and they knew it. They got away all season with making mistakes. Because, trust me, Tampa didn't do like everybody thought they did all season. Nobody at the beginning of the season really was saying, oh, Tampa's going to the Super Bowl. I don't even think I even had any kind of expectations for them to make it that far. Even with Brady there and having Antonio Brown. And don't get me wrong, even before those guys came in, I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, those guys are elite receivers. I'll say that right now. Mike Evans is top 5, maybe, I mean, that might be, yeah, I'd say definitely he's probably top 5, 6, wide receiver in the league. But he hasn't been able to do it all himself. So they got Godwin in there. Now they brought Gronk in there. And now they've got Antonio Brown back in the NFL again. So it's like, hey, look what they did. They put together an elite team, and they won with like I said, again, I say this all the time. This is my opinion. You take a team and you put 1 or 2 elite guys on there that are 9s or 10s. Okay, that's great. Hoorah! You get to, praise them when they do great. But if you want to win a championship, I feel like you got to win a championship with a whole team full of 7s and 8s, okay? Because you can build around each other and play as a team. That's how sports are meant to be played, as a team, all right? Unless you're playing pool or you're bowling, all right? You're playing as a team. You've got 10 other guys that are next to you on the field. So you've got to play as a team, all right? So you have 2 elite guys out there. Let's say you got an elite wide receiver or an elite quarterback and then an elite middle linebacker. Okay, great. Well, what good's your linebacker going to do if they're throwing the ball over his head and the receivers are getting wide open down the field? I keep it pretty simple. It's called the KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid, right? So don't think too much into it. Of course, there's a lot more details there, but same thing with a quarterback. What good does it do if you have an elite level quarterback that does not have receivers to throw to? Or if he does, obviously, because every quarterback's got receivers to throw to, but if he hits them in their hands and they're dropping passes, I can do that. Are they paying me millions of dollars a year? No. So, you can't win championships like that. And they did what they had to do to go out there last year and win the Super Bowl. They fell apart here and there during the season, but you know what? Brady, being the quarterback that he is, he brought that team morale back up. He told them, basically, look, we got to do what we got to do during the season, get these little kinks and little mistakes out now, but come towards playoffs, we cannot play like this. And they come out in the playoffs and they played like a whole nother team, like a whole nother level. It was just unreal. watching that defense of, a lot of those young guys on that defense just playing like, who is that? Like what just, holy crap, who is this? Like, who are these guys? Because they're not big name guys that everybody's, oh my God, it's so-and-so. That's my opinion. And the Miami Dolphins, okay? And in my opinion, again, I'm not going to only talk about the Dolphins and think that they're going to be the best, but so everybody knows how I feel. I think they're doing the same thing right now. I think one of the best decisions that these guys have made was to bring in a different set of coaches. Bringing in Brian Flores, having Chris Greer there, these guys are thinking football. These guys are thinking team first. All right, I hear it. I've been to training camps. I've met with players. I've been on the field. Believe it or not, it's actually amazing. I have some really, really awesome opportunities when it comes to going down watching Dolphins games, doing flag ceremonies, things like that. It's absolutely amazing. But interacting with these players, 3 years ago, talking to these players, some of these guys, and I'm not going to say no names, 4 years ago, 4 seasons probably, yeah, because I keep forgetting. I can't count last season. Last season was so messed up, but it went so fast. But yeah, some of these guys that are just me. I want the ball. I want the ball. You give them the ball, they do good, and then they give them the ball, and they get hit and drop the ball. Defense recovers the ball. Now we just lost an opportunity. I've seen it so many times. I will throw one name out there because it's pretty easy to pick up on if you watch football. We paid a player $116 million to come out here and be a defensive tackle for you, and his name was Ndamukong Suh. Okay, Ndamukong Suh made $116 million, and I think it was like a 6-year contract. All right, but he came out there and basically just was like a brick wall. So if you run into him, he's gonna stop you. All right, but this guy running in the field was like watching. I don't know. I mean, it was like he was just so lethargic, had no energy. Why not? He's making a $116 million contract, right? You would think he'd be the next star, the next number one defensive lineman. No, he did not produce. He did nothing for us. I don't even want to say how many sacks he got, because I know he probably got a couple. But he did not produce at a $116 million contract, okay? And that's my opinion. But what does he do? He goes over to the Bucs, and again, I don't have that contract information in front of me, so I don't know if he's making the same, if he's making less. I don't know, but you don't hear about him anymore. He's not on the news. He's not, oh my gosh, Dolphins just signed Ndamukong Suh's contract to $116 million. Well, that is great. You think that man's going to go out there and play like y'all think he's going to play? Maybe, but he didn't. So I don't want to keep seeing the Dolphins make those mistakes. They keep making those same mistakes. They'll go out, they'll pay for somebody, expect them to play to their expectations, and they fall short. And we fall short as a team. And the fan base gets mad, and we always have all these wonderful ideas and have all these answers, and we need to do this. Just like when we had Brock Osweiler out there, and we were talking about putting him in the game. I was at that game where we were talking about putting him in, and we did. But you know what? Again, apparently their vision was not with Brock Osweiler. Apparently they thought they had other plans there. And those plans were to go out and get a franchise quarterback by picking Tua Tagovailoa. And I love that pick. I think it's an amazing pick because, look at since Dan Marino. What good quarterback have we really had in there that's been there and actually stayed as a franchise quarterback? We haven't had one. Whether we were good or not, we've never really had a franchise quarterback that's stuck around. So I really, really hope that the Dolphins organization really see a lot of potential in Tua, which I think they do, because again, they played him last year, and I'm gonna sum it up, here pretty simple by saying this when it comes to Tua. He came into the league during the COVID year. He had no preseason. Okay. training camp was little to none. All right, just got to take a look at the time here because I got to wrap this video up here very shortly. He had little to no training camp, no preseason, and nobody, no fans, no teams, other than maybe the Dolphins, had seen this man throw one pass since his injury. Okay? So, of course, there's going to be a lot of talk around too. Oh, we don't want him. He's not ready. He had that horrible hip injury, and we haven't even seen him play one game. Well, you're right. We haven't. So how can we even say that if we don't know? He's been rehabbing, okay? And let me put it this way right now. Sports players have better doctors than, any of us do, all right? Unless you're famous, unless you have millions of dollars, which I know their insurance is better than mine. So do you think that these sports doctors are going to let this kid come out here and tear his hip up even more than what it is, or make him wait until he is actually fully recovered, at least enough, might not be 100%, but at least enough to them to where they know it's safe for him to come back out and play? All right. So even listening to that at first, oh, he can't play. We can't play him. We need to sit him on a bench for at least a whole year. Why? If the kid's ready to play and the doctors clear him, let him play. What's the worst that if he gets hurt, that is the worst that can happen, is he gets hurt and can't play football anymore. But that is the nature of the sport. That is business. All right? You don't bring in a franchise possibility and not play him. All right? So we did. We fed him to the wolves out there, right? We threw him out there. That was the next thing. Oh, how can you do that to a kid that doesn't even know the playbook? Because it's about playing football. Is he going to hold up? Is he going to be able to take a hit? Is he going to be able to scramble and get out of the pocket? Which, again, the only quarterback, this goes back to my question, as far as any quarterback that we've had that's been decent, is Ryan Tannehill. And then he messed his knee up, and then the whole Tannehill 2.0 came out, and he did not play like Tannehill 2.0, so we shipped him out to Tennessee. All right, that's fine. He's doing great there. I'm happy for Ryan Tannehill. I liked Ryan Tannehill, and I actually supported him and wanted to see him do good, but it just was not a fit for him. All right, he went to a team where he had a beast of a running back and knew that, hey, if I don't have someone to throw the ball to, I'm dumping it off to freaking Derrick Henry, and he's going to run people over, all right? Because that's what Derrick Henry does. That made him great. And then you bring in other guys like Corey Davis and other players that he can throw the ball to. Well, guess what? Now you start seeing some kind of next level or, elite level production out of him. Well, now everybody likes him again. I see the talk about that. Oh, well, Tannehill's now well, that's great. But let's keep talking about Tua, We can't talk bad about the boy. Let's be honest here. This is the truth, right? Let's speak the truth. Again, he comes out last year. Yes, he was benched in a couple games. But isn't that the smart thing to do as a coach? That way you preserve your quarterback, your young quarterback, so he does not go out there and end up like a Joe Burrow? Look at Joe Burrow, the number one pick in the NFL. He went out there, was supposed to be the number one prospect to be the best QB in the league, right? Like the next Tom Brady possibly, or Drew Brees, or Aaron Rodgers, right? Or whoever. Maybe the next Ben Roethlisberger. Who knows? But the kid comes out there, plays with the Bengals his first season, and takes on a serious injury. All right? Done. Surgery, whole season, shut down, done. We didn't want to see that happen to our young quarterback. And that was, to me, was a very smart decision. By being able to say, hey, you know what? This game is not going his way. We don't want to see him get hurt. We don't want to see him, take a beating out there. Our line's not playing like they should. Our receivers aren't playing like they should. Whatever the case may be. He's not playing like he should. Bench him. Bring Fitzpatrick in. All right, the old Buffalo here, the guy that's got the wisdom and the knowledge, but he's another aged veteran quarterback that has that knowledge. Now, he's hit or miss, right? He's hit or miss. Fitzpatrick comes in, he'll make a nice play, then he'll throw an interception. That's always been Fitzpatrick's issue. That's why he's not our future quarterback. He's a bridge quarterback. We bring him in. He fills in. We know that we can put him in a game, and he's not going to crumble. He's going to go out there with the mindset that he's going to win that game, right? And he's got confidence because he's been playing for so long. So, again, You got Fitzpatrick there. Everybody's talking about, oh, we need to keep Fitzpatrick and get rid of Tua. Man, if y'all don't get out of here with that crap. What team has Fitzpatrick played for that he actually had a successful career with? Who? I would like to hear one. It wasn't Buffalo. It wasn't the Jets. It wasn't Tampa Bay Bucks. And it wasn't, unfortunately, the Dolphins. He's a great average quarterback. Okay, let's put it that way. A great average quarterback. Because, again, he's got humor. He's got chemistry. He's a team-first guy. He just wants to be there and play with his team and win. But it doesn't mean that he's going to be the guy to get you there, okay? It doesn't mean that he's got that raw talent to get you where you want to be, all right? That's like me. I can sit here and talk all day. God, you know what, man? I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to play for the Dolphins, and I'm going to be their best freaking middle linebacker, all right? I'm going to show Jerome Baker how to go out there and how to lay a hit down. But then I go out there on the field, and in the very first play, I go out there and blow my knee out again. All that talk is nothing until you actually show up and do it. And that's the one thing, again, we're right at an hour now, so I'm going to try to wrap this up in about the next 5 minutes here. We need to just keep playing like we are, all right? Brian Flores is such a humble, quiet kind of guy, all right? He's a team-first guy. He'll correct you when you're wrong. He'll lay into your butt if you're wrong. But he will be the first to pick you up and lift you up when you're right and play as a team, okay? These guys are young. They're hungry. They love being around each other. And I'm telling you guys right now, this is on video, and this is going to be to all my viewers to see. I'm saying this right now. These Dolphins, last year, they were in the rebuilding phase, right? Well, they were rebuilding last year, but they still had a winning season, okay? So, again, I'm not hating on them at all, just because they're my team or not. I have no problem saying that they're garbage or they're trash or they, like, you know, the way they've played in the past with the Adam Gase phase, all right? I'm so happy that man is gone. He freaking destroyed our team, all right? And he was not a guy for our team. But watch what happens. Trust the process. Any Dolphins fans out there, I encourage you, please, if you like this content too, I will continue talking about the Dolphins, and I would love to bring some Miami Dolphins fans on this panel and get your opinion as well. All right, I want to watch games on Sunday. I want to be here. I would love to do some live videos at training camp if we can make it. My work schedule's been really hectic and busy lately, but we definitely will be tailgating and doing games this year. But trust the process with Adam Gase and Greer. And just know that, again, we've got young, hungry guys there. No, Myles Gaskin is not a big-name running back. But we also have two other guys there, too. And we've got so much talent right now. And, man, I can't even talk. I'll keep talking about this for hours. But training camp is right around the corner. It's at the end of the month. I'm going to try to get out there myself, at least to one camp, just to see these guys out there practicing. Because I'll tell you, watching these guys on video now, you can just see it. There's a night and day difference. The chemistry these guys are building together between the offense and the defense, it's like a brotherhood. And it's got to be that way. You can't have a team of all these guys on a roster and have a handful of them that don't get along with nobody because they're just freaking bah humbug kind of guys. You can't have that in a winning organization. Every guy's got to be on the same page and love and care about one another and stand by each other's side and show unity, and that this is a team, because again, that's how it works. Okay, so with that being said, I can't wait for Dolphins to come up. We are going to be in the future, I probably will incorporate some Miami Dolphins gifts and prizes. I may even somewhere along the line try to incorporate True Media Production and merge it with, maybe somebody to talk more about sports, do a segment just about that. But again, we're still in the growing process. I've got to get an audience first. So last thing I want to talk about real quick, because it's coming up super fast, and I want to get this content out there to you guys, let you guys kick it around a little bit, and definitely, hopefully, take in consideration what I'm about to say. So I love to do every year, I love to do fantasy football, okay? And usually every year, before this last year, because this last year during COVID, it just was, what has COVID not destroyed, I feel like, other than us as humans. It really has crippled us to a point where things are just not normal anymore. So I want to try to bring things back to normal when it comes to sports, because last year was just a dud. I think I did like 2 or 3 fantasy football games, and I didn't even, literally, like week 3, I was just so out of it. I was just like, whatever. And I never even went back to check and see if I won or anything. So I need to get back into it. And what I want to offer you guys, and I want to bring to the table right now, and hopefully this gets out, and I'm hoping people want to jump on board because it gets really fun. Okay. I want to do fantasy football on True Media Productions, and I want that to be a good portion of the sports, especially during football season. All right. I love getting on here. And again, fantasy football, as you all know, it's not about just having your team. Miami Dolphins, Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, right? It's not about that. It's about having the best football team that you can build, period. All right? So creating your own team, building your own team, and playing all season long. All right? I do season long. I do FanDuel and stuff like that, but that's just like donating money, okay? I'm not a professional. I don't spend hours on end doing research, and I feel like there's a lot of bots on there that know, a lot of insiders that know these stats and a lot of these players. That's just my opinion. I have won some money. I've won, a couple $100 here. I won like $100 there, but not really. I mean, that's just for fun when I'm bored. What I love doing is franchise, season-long fantasy football leagues, okay? And the year before last, I did it with a radio show, and we had like 10 teams, 10 groups, I should say. So we usually do teams of either 10 or 12. I've noticed on ESPN Fantasy, they actually have upped it, I think, to where now you can do like 14 or 16 teams. Again, I haven't set anything up yet, but I will tell you this. Preseason football, NFL football, starts week 1 is like the 14th of August. Okay? So we've got time. And the third week of preseason, let me take a look here, is, the 29th. So, again, preseason's still a little messed up because of COVID. They're only doing 3 weeks now instead of 4. But that's okay, because we're still getting some kind of football sooner than later, right? So I'm fine with that. But that kind of changes things for me, because normally I always do my drafts right towards the end of preseason, because that's when by preseason game 4, you're just going out there letting these guys play just to get the game flowing, right? Just to get these guys pumped up and ready for the season. But you got to be cautious, because you don't want your starters to get hurt out there. So really, by game 4, you don't see a whole lot of starters out there, all right? And if you do, it's very rarely that you see them play for more than a couple plays, all right? So with that being said, usually by game 3 is when you notice, all right, hey, look, these guys got to come out, and the starting team got to come out and play, let's say, a whole drive together, right? So we get to see Tua and all the starters come out and play at least one whole drive together as a team, to see what, make sure they're clicking and they're firing on all cylinders there. So usually by week 3, going into week 4 is when I do my fantasy drafts. But this year is going to be a little different. So I haven't had an exact date yet. But I'm guessing it's probably going to be right around between week 2 and week 3. So we're talking probably somewhere right after week 1 preseason game. So I don't know, week 1 is the 14th. So we'll be playing a game on the 14th. And then I would say probably around the 20th to like the 29th, somewhere right in there. I'll set a date, and if we get so many people that want to play, there might be 2 days we do it. I don't know yet. But we'll start off and see what we come up with, see how many people are interested. But my goal is to get as many people as we want. How about that? Nice. Just knocked my water down. But yes, we'll bring in teams of 10 or 12, whatever people are most comfortable with, okay? You start getting teams of 12 and 14 in there, then your teams start to kind of fall apart because so many of those good players are gone right off the top, right? So I don't like to get too crazy with it and have like 15, 14 teams in there, because if you're picking 14th and you're picking at the bottom, you're going to be, excuse my language, but pretty pissed off, because by then you're saturated, all those good players, are gone. Those top 10, top 15 players are, you're limited. So it gets tough. So what I want to do is, like I said, if anybody, when this media gets out there, this audio gets out there, and this video gets out there, and hopefully, again, I'm hoping YouTube algorithms will pick up on this and they'll like my content, and people will see it and they'll like it, and they'll like and subscribe and share and all that wonderful stuff. I want people's feedback, please. If anybody's interested in fantasy, and I don't care if you're new to it and you've never done fantasy football, but you love watching football and say you just know who good players are, right? Well, it's very simple. I'll tell you this. When I started off, I was so intimidated because I started playing with a radio group, and these guys on this radio show were like pros to me, right? So I meet them at a Buffalo Wild Wings or a Hooters or wherever they set it up at, and we do a live in draft right there in-house. And I'm like, man, I'm like stuck, because I'm like, I've never done this before. This is so nervousing. It's stressful. I don't know if I'm going to do good, but it's not. It's so simple. ESPN Fantasy, you have to go on and check it out. You can go on there right now, create an account. It's free. You can check out all the media, the news they put on there, and not just with football, okay? You can go on there and you could do fantasy for baseball, basketball. You could look at news updates for tennis, hockey, whatever it is you like, all right? NASCAR, whatever, you name it. They've got it all around, all right? So you got to check them out. Create yourself an account. It's free. That way, whenever I get people on board, I'll have you guys message me directly or email me. All right, let me know. I'll make a list of who's actually going to be interested in playing. We'll do like a mock draft even. We'll get together on a Saturday night or a Sunday afternoon and put together a mock draft, and everybody's free. That's the hardest part, is getting everybody together at one time at the same time on draft day. That is the key. Everybody's got to agree to a time and a date and stick to it, because if you're not there and the draft starts, well, your draft is going to get picked automatically. So you're going to only, which is not a horrible thing, but you never know who you're going to get. So with that being said, it's just going to pick the player off the top. So you got to make sure you're there, you're present, you're picking your players yourself. But we can even do mock drafts to where we do a mock draft and I walk through and I show you guys, this is how you do it. It would be simple. I set up the room. I invite you guys, put the password in. You're in the room. I set and schedule the draft date. Once we set that scheduled draft date, we would all meet in there. Whatever, we can meet beforehand on YouTube. I can stream it live, listen to some music and hang out, let everybody get in. And then when we finally go live on the draft, everybody will be there and need to be on their devices. You can use a phone if you want to, whatever. But you got to be able to go into the draft and know when the draft starts and be present when it starts to pick your players. That's my key piece of advice right there for fantasy. Just be there to pick your guys. So with that being said, please, I hope people like fantasy football. I would love to get back into it again. And if anybody's interested, we'll go over more details about it. I'll make another video if I have to. Or like I said, again, right now, it's not like I have 50,000 people that want to sign up. So if you are interested, you can reach out to me. You can email me. I can send you a layout of what's going to, how it's going to take place, dates, keep in contact with you, keep a list of the people that are going to be on board and that actually want to do it. Because even if we have 100 people, great. We could do 10 teams of 10, all right? So it doesn't matter. We can create as many leagues as we want to and have as many people come in as we want to. So please, if you're interested in the fantasy football, it's tons of fun. You meet a lot of cool people in here. Everybody's a pro. I found out whenever we do fantasy, everybody's the best. So it's always some kind of, a little bit of smack talking back and forth, but that's fine. That's fun. That's what makes it fun. again, all I ask for people is to do is just keep it respectful, and be courteous of other people. Because again, when I do stuff like that, I don't put an age restriction on it. So if we do have, some younger kids that want to come in there and that want to do it as well, I encourage them to come along as well. I don't turn anybody down. But I just ask for people to please be polite and respectful of others. And there are women that are into fantasy as well, so just be careful what we say, especially when we come on the panel. If we do bring a live stream up and guys come on, that's all I ask for with everybody is just people to be respectful. So again, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. This has been a good first video. This is literally just my production. Sum it up again. True Media Production here. I am brand new. I have audience. So I've actually, a couple people that I have, friends or family, but it's like nothing. So I really, 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 really need your guys' help. All right. If you like what I'm putting out there, you like any of this content, I know this was a long video today. I'm probably going to try to keep them, right at an hour if I'm doing it solo. If we bring people on, hey, if it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through a stream, I'm fine with that. That's what we're about. That's what I want True Media Production to be about. I want to interact with people. And if I stay up all night long and, we talk about things on here, eventually, that's what I want to slowly but surely transition into that. Again, I want to grow this to something to be where eventually I'm not going to have time to go to work, right? That's the goal, right? I mean, of course. I'm not going to say I hate my job. It's my bread and butter, but there's just so much more to life, guys. So much more to life out there. I encourage so many people, like I said earlier in the video, please, whatever it is, don't be scared to show, to do what you love to do in life. You spend all this time chasing money in life. That's what we do. We spend all these years chasing money in life. And then when we get old and gray and have all that money, and some of us don't ever get to spend it. So enjoy what you do in life. Love what you do in life. Don't ever do anything that doesn't make you happy. Just remember, there is a lot of good people out there still. And fortunately, this is a platform where a lot of people use this to their advantages and good and bad ways. So with that being said, guys, again, please, if you want to check out some of my TikTok videos, you can click the link right on my YouTube. Go over to TikTok, check them out. I put out some, a decent amount so far. I'm new over there too, so I had no audience. But again, I want to bring comedy, humor, news, weather, whatever it is. I want to bring it to you guys. I want to be honest. No left-wing, right-wing BS. We're not here for that. Again, this is a safe place to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about, whatever topic we're talking about. And even if I have a topic that I'm talking about, if somebody comes on and wants to talk about something that's going on in their life, just in that moment or that day, please, again, sometimes all it takes in life is just someone just to be there, just to be there to listen. Okay. And if that's what it takes me to do, then that's what I'm going to do. So again, I want to, really bring you guys the best content that I can, the best media that I can. I've got some really awesome things in store. I want to incorporate some games, things like that in here, whatever, it's trivia, whatever, but I want to bring people on the show for that. So I've got to have an audience. Please, if you see this video, check it out. Most of you aren't going to watch the whole thing, but those of you that do see this, please support me, like, check me out, share, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great Monday. All right, fins up, True Media Productions. All right, I'll see you guys real soon. Thank you for again for helping me with everything, Jeremy, Asif. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys. So it's going to constantly grow little by little. Right now I'm at the bottom. So it's all good. Everybody has to start somewhere. And with everybody that's on YouTube, we're going to make this happen, all right? You guys have a great rest of your day. And we'll talk to you soon.